So what am I going to take to my very first PDGA sanctioned tournament? Well, stay tuned to find out. So welcome back to Poor Boy Disc Golf, and today I'm going to be showing you, it's not all the stuff I'm going to take to my very first sanctioned PDGA tournament, but this is basically the bag that I'm going to take. I'm going to take my a little bit bigger, it's the one that you can buy at Academy. The only reason I'm taking it is because of the straps are bigger, because I added probably another 2 foot on them, so it fits really good, and I can carry 2 water bottles. As far as the disc, I'm not gonna have very many. I basically be throwing Trilogy, and that's it. I've really been trying to get into Trilogy a little bit more, and that's about all I bag this go round. But I do have other discs. I've got Infinite, Innova, MVP, Discraft, and a few others. Those are kind of the discs I take to a new course if I'm just going to try it. That way, if I lose any, it's okay, because I'm really focusing on my Trilogy because these fly the best for me. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to show you. We'll start off with putters and work our way to drivers. So first up, we have the putters. Now, putters are kind of a thing I like to use. I've been using more and more in the woods. Wide open shots, I gotta have a mid-range or a driver, because my putters don't get out there as far. But one of my driving putters I use mainly for approach, so I can get it to the right, is a Dynamic Disc Deputy. Now this is a tournament stamp I picked up. It's in the, and I'm pretty sure the Lucid plastic. It's either Lucid or Fusion. But as you can see, I custom dyed it. Really can't find it very good in the woods. You have to kind of dig for it, but it's a disc that, you know, when I throw it off the tee pad at a little bit of speed, it'll go to the right and it'll stay to the right. Or if I'm close enough to the basket, I could go around a tree and try to make it or use it as a layup. Now another driving putter that I use is the Dynamic Disc Slammer. Now I picked this up with the Dynamic Disc Mystery Box for Christmas. I've been using it a lot more and more that's in the bag. I love driving with this. It goes, I could throw it up in a hyzer, it'll stay straight and then go to the left like it's supposed to. And this thing will actually sit wherever it hits the ground. That's where it's going to stay because of the rim, or the bead on the rim. This is one of my good driving putters. Now as far as putting putters, I have a West Side Disc Maiden for that. I love this disc. I throw it off the tee pad if I need to, approach and putt with this. The other one I have is the Judge. Now I have 2 in the prime plastic, one white, one black. These were 2 of my very first putters I had, and they've stayed in the bag, and they're going to stay in the bag. This is my go-to putter. If it's fairly windy or if it's a short enough drive, I'll drive them. But if I'm stuck in the woods, that's when I turn to my Classic Blend Judge, but it's in the super soft plastic. So that way if it hits a tree, it's going to stay there. Or I can bank it off a tree and it'll kind of bounce a little bit. But what I like is when it bounces, it'll kind of go down and it'll stick the ground. Now this thing ain't very good in the wind, but you know, it's still something I love to have in my bag because I use this a lot when it comes to approach shots in the woods. Now probably the biggest section in my bag is my mid-ranges. I absolutely love my mid-ranges. I have a little bit of this and a little bit of that. You know, I just absolutely go crazy over my mid-ranges. But one of the very first ones I picked up was a Latitude 64 compass. That's in the Opto plastic. It is a double stamp. I got this, it was one of my very first big purchases I made at a disc store. I got it at Play Against Sports, but things dead straight. Absolutely love the feel of it. The only problem I got is this one's hit concrete too much on the bottom, and the rim's starting to get a little bit like where it'll cut your finger if you throw it, if you try to flick it too hard. So I'm gonna have to probably get another one of these before too long. But I just absolutely love this mid-range. It goes straight. Now another one I picked up was in a couple videos back. It's a Latitude 64 Fuji. Now this is in a double stamp. It's in the Opto 2X line. Pretty sure that's what it says. The double stamp makes it hard, but this thing, I throw it, it goes straight, then it dumps to the left. Really like this one for off the tee if it's a dog leg to the left. It's really good. I love the plastic too, and I love the rim width too. It's really good. I can get a little bit of power on it. Now next up is for when it's a windy day, or you don't want your disc to fly that far, and you just need it to go straight there, and that's a Dynamic Disc Justice. Now this is in the Fusion, well actually it's a Biofusion plastic. I do have another one in the Lucid. I like this one a little bit better because of the feel. As you can see, I've banged it off a few trees, banged it off concrete. Absolutely love this disc. If I need an approach shot that's not going to be that far, this is what I grab, because this thing goes straight as can be too. Well, I would say it goes straight. It goes straight and then it dumps to the left. Another disc I picked up not too long ago, and I absolutely love it. I'm gonna try to get it in a little bit different plastic, see if I like the other ones just as much as this one. But it's in the Classic Blend Burst from Dynamic Disc. It's a Suspect. Now this thing is, I love this one. I could actually put this on a little bit of an anhyzer, and it'll go up, flatten out, and then fade like it's supposed to. If not, I could throw it up on a hyzer and it'll start fading immediately. And then when it hits, it kind of rolls to the right. I love the plastic. I love the bead on the lip of the rim. This has been a good one for me too. Now this disc I actually started with, it's actually warped, but I keep on using it. It's in the prime plastic, and that is a Dynamic Disc Truth. Now this one was one of my very first mid-ranges that I got from Dynamic. My first mid-range was actually Innova Spider, given to me by a buddy of mine up in Tulsa. But whenever I got a little bit of money, I went and bought this in a starter pack, and it's been a really good disc for me. Now that it's warped, it's a little bit more stable. I could throw this thing with some power, and it gets up there, does what it's supposed to, turns just a little bit, then it comes back and hits the ground. Now with these, the Truth, I noticed that this one will stay flat mostly, and when it lands, it'll kind of skip a little bit and then stay flat. It won't roll to one side or the other, so that's why I like it in the prime plastic. Now the last mid-range I got is an EMAC Truth. This is in the Lucid plastic. It's been a really good disc. I've been learning how to throw this a lot more lately. Love to throw it, go straight, then it fades to the left. Not very hard, but it'll fade. The way I throw it, it'll kind of hang, and then it'll go to the right, and then it'll just die and just stop right there. It'll almost tombstone in the ground if it's too muddy. But yeah, I've been learning how to throw this one a lot more. So now we'll come to drivers. Now it's kind of a funny thing, but I've only got 3 drivers in my bag right now. You know, a lot of people might think that that's kind of weird, but you know, it's just the way I am right now. It's I've got discs. I've got drivers that are lower in speed. Well, one of them isn't, but I could still chunk it. But first up, we have a Dynamic Disc Escape. Now this is in the Moonshine plastic. This was custom dyed and sent to me by a buddy of mine. Big shout out to Big Sal. He's from Oklahoma City area, and he sent this up to me, and I've been using the heck out of it. I I started off with an Escape in the prime plastic, but just beat the tar out of it until it won't even fly right. That it's got a crack in it. So when he sent me this, you know, it had to go in the bag, and I can throw this thing, I can throw it up and it'll go to the it'll turn just a little bit, and then it'll fade really hard back, and that's what I could put this around a tree, no problem. It never goes straight, and that's what I like. Is I need something I could put a little anhyzer or hyzer in, and it'll go whichever way I want it to go. Now next up, I have a Latitude 64 Explorer in their air plastic. Now this is one I picked up for Christmas. I didn't think it would be as good as it is, but I can chunk this sucker way over 200 feet. Really haven't been able to really get on it in a calm sense. I can usually get it up there around 200 with it windy. So, you know, this has been a really good one for me. It'll go straight. I can get to kind of flex a little bit over, and it'll go over to the right, I mean the left, like it's supposed to. This is 159 grams, you know. Doesn't do as good in the wind as it should, but the way I throw it, it does good enough for me. Now the last one up is one of my newer ones. I did a video review on it the other day, and it's one of my drivers. It outdrives everything I've thrown, and it absolutely had to go in the bag. I've chunked this sucker so many times that I've almost lost it a few times, but that is the Dynamic Disc Maverick in the Lucid Air Plastic. Now this thing it's still pretty mint because it only goes in the fairways. Last time I was at a course, I threw it, and it went to the wind caught it, and it went to the right, and it stayed there, straightened up, and then it came down, but it was on the other side of a creek. And I tell you, poor boy waded that creek just to go over and get it, because this is one that I can't lose. I just absolutely love this disc. I love the feel of it. It goes straight, it'll go to the right just a little bit, well, it'll turn a little bit, and then it'll come back and fade, and it'll sit down really good. If I throw it with the hyzer, it'll kind of flex a little bit, and then it just goes to the left and just dumps right there. And wherever it sits, and if I want to skip, it'll skip. Anhyzer, it likes to go up a little bit, and it'll kind of wobble, and then it'll straighten out, then it'll come back. But yeah, this is my go-to driver. So I hope you liked the video. It's just some of the discs that I'm going to take. Well, it's all the discs I'm going to take. I'm going to try to go with the light bag. We're going to do nothing but Trilogy disc. It's what I've been throwing for years. It's what I know. My nerves are absolutely shot. So it's going to be experience, which I know everybody's the same way. I've even talked to a few professionals, and they're the same way. That first hole, every tournament, it's just butterflies. And that's part of the fun playing disc golf. You know, if you don't have that excitement and that adrenaline every tournament, then you're doing something wrong, because disc golf is one of the best sports that there is. So hopefully you like this video. If you do, push the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future Poor Boy videos. But as always, play the sport and grow the sport that is disc golf. Thanks for watching.